just looking for a piece of dirt. I'm just looking for that sweet.
Hi there, this is Billy Earl on Delmarva Americana, your home for great local music. Welcome to Pack 14. We're going to have guests here from the local music scene. You can also see us on WSDL 90.7 OCMD Rhythm and News from 8 to 10 on Saturday night. We're going to have the very best of local musicians, local venues, people in the music business. It's going to be great. You can also go to our Facebook page, Delmarva Americana. So give us a like and tune in. God bless y'all real good.
Dzień dobry, to jest Delmarva Americana, a to jest... Co to imię?
Dostojevsky.
What's your name?
Dostojevsky, to balkom, to samo lubię.
Wow.
To jest Deutsch.
Dostojevsky.
Ah, yeah.
Oh, we're going global tonight, are we?
Eines
I can speak Southern.
I could have been cussing at it, you know.
Decorate's alive and well.
Well, welcome to the show, Suzanne. We're thrilled to have you here. One of the things we always talk about with people who are coming here, who are musicians, practicing musicians, is how they got started in music. What was your origin?
My origin, church.
Okay.
Yep, my dad is a retired Southern Baptist minister now, but yeah, my daddy is a minister, a preacher. Started out in Texas. In fact,
Where in Texas?
Sanger.
Sanger, Texas. I've been to Sanger, Texas. Hot dog.
My daddy's the church that I started out in, the Baptist church. It's really kind of a sad story, really, when you think it's one of our own. It's one of the musicians. Randy Travis was found there, drunk.
Yeah.
In the parking lot of the First Baptist Church.
He's from Fort Worth. I'm familiar with his work quite a bit.
So it was that church, but it's not when I was there or when my dad was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew this was going to be cool. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry. Because I'm like, all I've known is Suzanne from like Red Letter Day on to present. So this is I knew it was going to be kind of. I'm like,
it always turns out this way. I don't know what it is about this format that we have the most interesting conversations with people. But there you are in Sanger. How did you end up in Salisbury?
Well, I was an Army brat.
Yep.
My dad joined the military to give us a better life because living in Texas, down there, at that time we were dirt poor. And he wanted to give us a better life. And so he joined the Army, went to Vietnam. We ended up in Oklahoma. Then we went all the way to El Paso. Then we ended up in New Jersey, at Fort Dix, New Jersey.
Okay.
Came to Rockville, Maryland, where my dad was a pastor. There for 30-some years. I guess it's been 34 years at a church in the Rockville area. And I came to school down here to go to Salisbury.
Okay.
And I fell in love with it because it reminded me a lot of Oklahoma and Texas.
Okay.
Flat and laid back.
What part of Oklahoma were you in?
Bartlesville.
I don't know that.
Yeah, Bartlesville's up in that northeast corner, kind of near, about 45 minutes from Tulsa.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then near Grand Lake of the Cherokees, which I have family that has been. We fished a lot. That's where I learned to fish first. It was on Grand Lake, actually. So
Sweet.
Freshwater fishing, not like saltwater fishing, quite, but still, similar.
I've spent many afternoon on Texoma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a big old lake.
Yes, it is. It is a huge lake.
Yep. So I know the military thing. I was born in Germany, and Daddy moved around quite a bit, Georgia, and then back to Arkansas, and then back ultimately to Washington, D.C. But when did you start playing music?
Well, I started playing music actually in Rockville when I was, because I was from 6th grade on. We were in Rockville, Maryland. We had I was probably in elementary school, junior high, and we had this boy in the church who was very good looking, who gave guitar lessons. So, of course, all of us guitar lessons from him. So I started in a class with 20 people in the class.
Now, that wasn't Niels Lofgren, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Because he's from there.
Niels Lofgren, yeah. Well, Niels Lofgren, he's from that area too. Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, Tim Beery was Niels' drummer.
Okay. In Grin?
All I know is he
way
played
back
with Niels Lofgren.
Yeah.
Was the drummer on our Four Bowls of Color CD.
First time I ever saw Niels was at Montgomery High School there, just past Tacoma Park in Silver Spring, and He started on the edge of the stage, and he ran halfway across it, and he jumped on a little trampoline and did a flip while he was playing the guitar. It was the most amazing thing I've ever seen. Didn't kill
Wow.
himself.
Wow. I couldn't have done that.
I was just amazed. I never thought anybody would do that. Never
Right.
thought there was a reason. But he was a terrific guitar player. He was a very young
We
man.
should have Guitar Olympics.
Can you
Imagine?
imagine? Victor Wooten does that stuff. He'll do flips
Yeah.
while he's playing
Oh,
the
yeah.
bass.
Really?
And it slings his bass around. It's-
That
There should
big
be
voice.
there should be like Olympics for
Yes.
musicians, you know? I mean, really.
For that real athletic element of
I
him.
saw a drag queen do that on stiletto heels, 3-inch stiletto heels in Daytona Beach one time. 3 backflips in a row. It was incredible.
See, that should be my new gig, man. I'm gonna
Backflips?
no drag,
There you go.
but I'll be the lazy one.
Haven't you done that before, Mickey? I swear.
We don't talk about that too
And
much
you
on the
blow-
show.
And you blow on your pipes while you're wearing a skirt.
That's exactly right. I'm a drag.
That's right. He has been in a skirt.
Yeah.
That's it.
I guess it's a skirt, kind of. It's a kilt, right?
That's right. It's a sport thing.
Well, there you are playing guitar in Rockville, Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
Are you starting to perform?
Yeah, in the church. Basically, you know, a bunch of us were all teenagers together.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they wanted us to do what's now the precursor to the praise band, I guess, you know. Back then, they didn't have really blended services. It was more the traditional. So we actually started playing, and we were doing Bob Dylan tunes in church and
Oh,
Beach
wow.
Boys tunes in church.
Wow.
In my room, we did I See My Light Come Shining, and we did some like of the early, you know, Christian folk music that was out at the time, too. Come to the Water and some other things, too. I was a big Andre Crouch fan. I loved Andre Crouch and the Disciples. But yeah, that's where I started out was singing in church.
Okay.
Like how you say in Sanger, sang in church.
Singing.
Singing in church. Yeah.
Yep.
When did you decide that you want to play mandolin?
I access this. Well, we were recording the Four Bowls of Color CD in Charlotte, up in Northern Virginia. And AJ and I drove. We had a gig in Charlotte, North Carolina. So we drove to North Carolina. We had a friend out there who worked on the show Shamrock and the Thistle.
Mm-hmm. Thistle Shamrock.
Yeah, Thistle and the Shamrock, yes.
With Fiona Ritchie.
And yes, and so she worked with Fiona, and we stayed with her. And she had this mandolin, and I picked it up, and I just immediately fell in love with it and the sound and everything
That's how it works,
too.
isn't it?
But I really have to paraphrase this or tell you or say basically I'm not a pretty mandolin. You all are talented mandolin players. I am not. I'm a thrash mandolin player. You know, I tear the instrument up, and but I've tried to play it with soul. So.
You still got that old the old flat iron?
Yep.
It's pretty cool.
Yep. The
What's a
old
flat iron?
There was flat iron mandolins. They were made in Bozeman, Montana.
Uh-huh.
I brought my bazooka in. That actually is an old flat iron.
Really?
Yeah. They were. It was. I can't remember the guy's name. He went on. Okay, flat iron started there. They were making these great, you know, skillet mandolins or pancake mandolins. You know, but you've got, and it's just they're so perfectly mandolin-y, you know. They got that classic A model sound, oval sound hole mandolin, and loud as all
Yeah.
get up. Those things, you put a new set of strings on there, those things project. And the body, but that thing, you know, they were brilliant. The bracing and everything about it was brilliant. But I think they used to call them like Army Navy mandolins because there was another. But so anyway, they went on. They got really popular, and they're selling marketing these mandolins and bazookies and everything, you know, for a real fair price, whereas Gibson was climbing in a price. So Gibson decided we need to do something like this, so they made several offers to buy, and they were like, nope, 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 plus nope equals And then finally, I guess they just made the offer, you know, you can't refuse, you know, so they sold to Gibson. Gibson ran flat irons for a short period of time, that were I think whatever the contractual deal was, and then they ended it. They pretty much folded. They ended the flat iron. So they basically they bought out flat iron with the forward thinking they were going to get rid of them.
Because they were too much competition.
That's
Yeah,
exactly
that's what
right.
I've heard. I've heard the people say, you know, I had a flat iron before Gibson bought it and ruined the company. You know?
I know.
So-
Yeah, Gibson dirt
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, so they
But I had a Gibson guitar I love too. But no, it was a Guild. I'm sorry, Guild.
That's right, yeah. You got no guilt.
Yeah.
I used
Yeah.
to have a guild. I wish it was the one guitar. I wish I'd never sold.
You and I had that conversation at that Lutheran church
Yeah.
that Sunday. Yeah, they're special.
Yeah.
There's something about them.
Michael
mean, I've-
Rockman's got an old 1960s guild.
I've heard him play that over at the that accumulation of Irish folk on Tuesday night. Where did you say that was?
Oh, I guess that would be the Irish penny there, Jeff.
Irish Penny.
Jeff
Would that be from 7 to 9 on Tuesdays?
Yeah,
Jeff.
Wow.
Oh, and another thing, it's I believe it's in
Wink, nod,
South
nudge.
Salisbury.
I believe you're
South
right.
Salisbury Highway.
Oh, that's the Irish Penny
Yeah,
in
the
South
Irish
Salisbury.
Penny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
7 to 9, yeah.
Yeah, every Tuesday.
So much
They
free
also
press.
Say, beware of the knot. It will come up and knock you on the head and kill
The
you.
knotheads.
You'll be knotted up.
Oh, the knot. It was, ooh. No wonder they serve just that much. It's 100 proof.
Ooh. That'll get your attention.
Yes, it did.
That'd make you wake up in a puddle of swill.
Yeah.
Then
Puddle of
how about
something.
some-
Well, you're a performer, but you're also a producer, aren't you?
Yes.
You have a studio in your home.
Yes.
That's a wonderful thing. Who have you recorded that we would know and love?
Let's see. I don't know if you Isabel Umanzor, who's a Chilean artist I worked with. Narissa Bond is
Que
a
increíble.
she's an artist from down in the Hampton Roads area.
Okay.
And the album I produced for her won Song of the Year and Album of the Year in the
Wow.
Hampton Roads area, which is really great.
Very
And
good.
it was mastered by our own. He does all the music for NPR. I'm drawing a blank right now.
Chris?
No, he does all the music segues for NPR.
Oh, for NPR, for
NPR,
national.
For NPR, yeah.
Oh,
Anyway, he mastered it, and he said it was one of the. His comment was it was one of the most nicely produced albums he'd heard in a long time.
wow.
Which was really, I felt very honored by that.
You should have been.
But,
That's substantial.
And I've worked with rap. I love rap and hip hop too.
Uh huh.
Gospel quartets. I've recorded orchestras. Well, not the studio actually. I've recorded orchestra. I was working with, event production, the university. Let's see. It's been a while now. I mean, the original studio. I've had the studio in several places. It started out in my home. Moved north of town, off Northwood Drive.
Remember that one?
Yeah. And then moved to the university in Carruthers Hall, and that's where I'd recorded with Tim Starnes, and Mickey, you'd recorded there too back in the day, and where Tony Broadbent had actually built that studio out of a classroom, and it was a wonderful studio, and it had
It's
a lot of
awesome.
great energy to it.
I worked in that newer one, I guess. Because that's the same one we're thinking about with Tara.
No. Carruthers was the one that's the building that was
Oh, that's right.
torn down. Yeah, I know you've been in there because I've recorded you in there.
I'm getting forgetful these days.
He getting old.
Tell
He
me
getting
about it.
real old.
But there's that other new one.
He's ready for the nursing home
I
soon.
know.
We're just burying him here, aren't we?
I foresee it in my future. I'm going to be wiping oatmeal off your
Yeah,
chin.
not all.
I'll wheel you into the sunroom.
Dad, your head's in the oatmeal
And
again.
if I get too tired, I'll just let you out in the pasture. Hand you a
Yeah.
man.
Change the tennis balls on my walker. You know? He's like, I got new balls
Green,
on
too.
my walker.
You can't say that on radio, son.
Okay. I got new
Can't say nothing about balls.
tennis
Really?
balls.
Of course you can.
Dropped the F-bomb on the guy. Grammys last night.
Oh, curva.
Well, it's just up to the person who does the production of this that they catch the beep
Yeah.
in the right place.
Tennis balls.
Yeah.
Balls.
That's it. That's funny. I had something I was going to ask you too. Like,
Yeah, that studio where Carruthers Hall was really had, I think, I felt the specialness with that studio because they did it right back then. Tony Broadbent did. They ordered the beveled glass that deflects sound correctly, and even though it had been in a classroom, and they did the sound absorption on the wall. It was a part of Delmarva Public Radio.
Okay.
But it was more the soul energy that was in there that made it special. I mean, friends of mine who played that piano and that grand piano on not only my projects but other people's stuff. You know, Michael Tracy White recorded there. and he's gone on. Kenny Martin played on my projects and other people's. Wonderful piano player from Rehoboth Beach area.
So it's a
He's
lingering
passed on.
energy.
A lingering energy that I never wanted to clear out. I just wanted to keep and hold because it was a good energy and it went into a lot of people's projects.
Mm-hmm.
And created a lot of goodness too. And the students, I think, also at the time were drawn to that area too because of that, the fact that it's music being produced, but that energy also. So now there's a great big building there that's beautiful, a new library, and it's got a good energy to it too. So, and now I moved the studio back to my home, and I'm kind of winding down. You spend so much time producing other people.
Yeah.
Helping them create their music. You don't have a whole lot left for yourself. I haven't put out an album in years.
Are you
and I've
right?
got 3 albums worth of music that
Are you due?
I'm due. So I'm kind of starting to get selfish.
Okay.
And I'm only working with a few select clients. Not that I select them, but usually people that I've worked with for years. I know what they want and need. And then I'm trying to really pull back and focus on me and my music.
Okay.
And I really want to bring in some friends.
Yeah.
That was a wink, by the way.
Really.
No way. That's it. That would be fun. I need to do some co-writing.
Yeah.
I need jump starting on my writing. It's all these ideas that I haven't written in forever, and I'm like, I get tied up with day-to-day business.
Yeah.
You should see all the post-it notes that he has.
Right.
I mean,
Make a song out of
serious.
Post-it notes.
No, exactly.
I'm serious.
Yeah,
If you pick one up and you think, well, wow, this is like almost a poem.
That's it. Yeah,
you should put them together. I'm serious.
Just like one big long piece of prose. 3M prose.
Just make sure they're in order so you're not
That's
like.
it. It's Prozac prose. But yeah, we
Yeah, I got to make a Red Letter Day album first, and then I'm opening it up to all kinds of things, and I would like to do a solo one and bring in a bunch of different friends and musicians to play on it, and then Colleen Clark and I played in the Zen Monkeys too, and we also have a very fine drummer that's been playing with some Red Letter Day and has done Zen Monkey stuff too. Becca Dowdy, who's from this area.
Becca, yeah.
Yeah, she's amazing.
She's a multi-tool.
Yeah,
There's
she's a tool.
She's a
That's what I
tool,
need to
man.
tell her.
Becca's like,
She's a tool.
I'll tool you.
Yeah.
Call me no tool. No, that's a multi-tool. She can adapt to whatever. It's like, we need this feel, we need this style.
Right,
She's
right.
not just a 2 and 4 slammer.
Yeah. And Colleen on guitar, just
Another brilliant player.
yeah, she can really just make a guitar just wail and sing, and then you add AJ's saxophone to that, and then we do a lot of 3-part harmony, and it really it's really becoming we really have a nice combination now that we really like. So I'm just kind of seeing how this all goes, so where it goes and how it's going to record.
Well, tell us a little bit about your process when it comes to writing. How do you write a song?
I find it's been different for a lot of different songs. Sometimes I'll start with the hook. Sometimes I'll start with the first sentence of the tune, the first line, or it's a guitar riff that I'm building a feeling around. I tried to never be just an angst writer. I wanted to write in many different genres, which I write in a lot of different styles of music. But I don't know. I just being open to inspiration when it comes. Not beating myself up too much if it doesn't come well or easily. It's taken 4 years to write some songs.
Yeah.
One of them called Salvador took 4 years to write. Just was never finished. Same with another one called Love Is Like the Wind.
They all have their own times, don't
yeah,
they?
they do. Yet I write a song in 20 minutes called Loser, and that makes it on the radio, and I get known as one of the loser girls.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fun.
So,
are you an inspiration writer primarily, or can you say, like, I'm going to do a co-write with so-and-so and book the time and place and not have a predetermined idea? You go in with a complete blank thought and try to create something from there, or do you? What's your?
Well, I live a lot of life with blank thoughts. Especially lately.
What?
What? You know that Mark Twain said, what did he say? Sometimes I sits and thinks, and sometimes I just sits. That's me a lot lately.
It's funny. What a mind.
So-
Yeah. That's your-
But no, you know, actually, I have done that in a while. I think I've done that. It's been a while, and probably because I've been more. I guess my time to write has been less available lately. So I've gotten to be more where, you know, when the inspiration hits me and I could be sitting there in my underwear, you know. Sorry, Mickey, I'm not going to invite you over when I'm sitting there in my underwear. Just got to write what I can. But I do love to collaborate. I do love to collab.
The collab. And I was going to run with an underwear line, but I'll just let that die a silent death right in the middle of this floor
Yeah.
right here with, you know.
Oh, that was it. That wasn't
commando
me.
sorta.
Okay.
It was, yeah, but
Makes these awful sounds over here.
That's it. It's like that. That's
Do you ever
funny.
wake up in the middle of the night and you just can't go back to sleep because
Yeah.
you thought, and so you just finally have to give up and get up and
Yes. Yeah, you think you're going to remember it in the morning?
Right.
No. Just get up and do it then. Sing it into your phone,
right.
whatever, you know.
That's what I do.
That's what I hear him doing that all the time, and he comes up with these riffs and he gives them names. I was like, I can never figure out.
I always give them a name that reminds me of the situation that I was thinking of. So most of mine are named after my cats.
Yeah. Well, you know, and there's a lot to be said about that because what you want to do when you come back to the song is put yourself in the same
Capture the moment.
that same mindset or frame of mind or something that creates that like sense memory or whatever, you know, that you can
To
that
hope
you
to
can
put
remember.
You back on that path that
Put
you
you back
were
on that path,
gonna
yeah.
Be, interesting.
Definitely.
Well,
I,
all right, when we all learn an instrument, there's this honeymoon period that we fall in love with it. After that period, there's this time where it's like we peter off. What is that keeps you wanting to play more music? What is that keeps driving you to create?
it's a prolific question, dude.
Okay, Mr. Existentialism.
Someone so young, he is really.
He's an extra,
He is.
extra,
He's very-
existentialism.
Yes. I mean, I think that there are times like, well, lately, you know, it's been months since I picked up my guitar. Until yesterday, I had a gig, you know, and yet I walked into it like, I really should have rehearsed. Really should have.
Rehearsal's a waste of time.
Yeah. And you know, it showed. I think, you know, more. I notice it more than people notice it.
Yeah.
But yet, there's something about your instrument that just brings out what's deep inside of you, and it feels good. We're drawn to instruments because there's something in the tone of them that, I don't know. I believe that personally that all music that we are in, before we came here, I believe we were in heaven. Okay. And we heard such incredible music that we are constantly here trying to recreate that down to the cellular level within ourselves. That's why we thrive and lust for music.
I agree. I think we were connected to. We were part of Source. I'm a big pantheist sort of thinker. You know, where there's only one thing. We all are collectively that one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think you got a good point because when you're outside of this physical density, you know, the entire frequency spectrum is out there, and you can receive it all. You know, you're a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're resonating with it, and then whereas here in this density, I think sometimes we're not even the most of us that try to be awake and continually look for enlightenment and an awakening. There's no way we'll be able to completely achieve that awake state and that connected state until we pass on, until we cross over.
Mhm.
But I think it makes a good point. So we've probably, for eternity, as long as we've been in that connective metaphysical goo, or the land of field of probabilities, basically, to whenever we decided to show up here, we've been surrounded and resonating with the complete tonal spectrum. I think you're right. There's some sort of music or resonation or vibrations are going on all the time, I bet you.
I mean, it's almost like you feel it in your cells.
Yeah.
You really do. And some people are drawn to different, there's stringed instruments. Some people are drawn to brass. It's it's really it's intriguing. It's a beautiful thing. It's something that I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Well, it is hard to explain, but there are frequencies that attract all of us. There are certain songs that you hear that there's something about the frequency upon which that song is being played, and it's changing and it's evolving and moving, that touches you, but the person next to you may have absolutely no cognizance of it whatsoever.
Right.
But we're all in our individual. I think it was Hegel who argued that we're all in our individual scopes on this earth, and sometimes these scopes, sometimes they intersect, and sometimes they collide, and sometimes they the resistance moves them away. But it's all movement. It's all movement. It's all energy.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's what music is. Music is energy.
Yeah, music has. It is. It's very. There's so much energy because there are times when we have tension in music. Those. That really creates this feeling of, unsettling, and then there's the happiness and the joy and the swelling. One of the things I love is when the symphony first tunes. I love that. I look forward to that because when they get together, they all come together. That is just absolutely thrilling to me. I don't know why, but it's like once I hear that, I can just. It's like I'm ready. It's just really a beautiful, beautiful thing for me.
One
And
moment where both of those windshield wipers on the bus
right.
absolutely in sync for one or two swipes.
Yeah.
And it all goes to crap after that. Get back.
Right.
No, but you're right. There's that resonance thing, like tuning my pipes. I hear the drones out, and you hear whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah.
And there's that sort of
string.
like that feeling
kind of
of
person you're
not
talking
achievement,
to, I
but
guess.
Well, I'll tell you who explained it best to me, and I absolutely agree with him. Junior Wilson says that it's an endless puzzle. That anytime you pick up an instrument, there is something that you can explore there that you've never done before and may never do again. But for the constant curious person, it's the greatest toy ever.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think he's right. Thank you, Junior.
Yeah, that's brilliant, man. You should be quoted and all over the internet right now.
That's it.
Man, that Junior, he's smart boy. He's smart boy.
Well, and I got to tell you, one of the things I was going to mention, I think one of the toughest things nowadays for songwriters is the distraction of social media and the internet, and Netflix. I mean, really, it's so much easier to say, "Oh, I just want to sit down and binge watch tonight," and then you get stuck in that, and then you got to watch the next night, and all of a sudden you realize, I haven't played my guitar, or I haven't played my instrument, I haven't written a song, or I haven't been practicing my craft, and all of a sudden you're just like, "Whoa, where did life go?"
You're right.
So
there's all the stimulus.
God, you were almost paraphrasing Mike Marshall, one of the, Mike Marshall, the Mando and multi-instrumental god. I worship at the altar of Mike Marshall. and
Amen.
He did all those. D'Addario sponsored little pops on YouTube, and he talks about that. He says, nowadays, he says, we got all these distractions, our schedules and smartphones, and life is busy. And he said, and he's saying, there used to be a time when families sat together after dinner and either turned on one radio was all they had, or they pulled out instruments and they sat and played because that was it. There was nothing else to do, and there's a love technology, but there's also that it comes with a loss of innocence, a loss of sometimes purity.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, and maybe I want to thank you for the love you have given to me. Bye bye. All these blessings that surround me never freely on an angel's wings. And I will walk in the light of your glory as I lift my eyes to the sky. And I will live with ups and downs. Oh, what is it? Sound for the land of milk and honey. And it repeats that. Thank you. Builds a little bit for them. And then we get to the end of that. For the land, for the second title. Milk and honey is right now. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Sister. Thank you, Father. I've been a pilgrim in the promised land. I'm coming home again. Thank you, brother. I gotta figure. Thank you, brother. Thank you, I've been a pilgrim in the promised land. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. I've been a pilgrim in the promised land. Really just to stick around, like that. So
Got it.
that's fun. It's been a while since I've done that one though. So,
Cool little tune.
huh?
Cool. Cool little tune. What's that called?
That's called I Want to Thank You.
Okay.
And it's straight up growing up in the church.
Gotcha.
Can you bum a capo for you? I mean, you might try to. You sure you don't want to do it bottom open, see? Or you'd rather?
It'd be cool to get people to see this of the drive, but I mean,
Well, does it need drive or do you need to?
well, let's do the second half. Yeah, they can do some drive.
Okay. If you can, yeah, if you can.
I'm trying to think where I got them.
Cause he's.
I got
Oh man, left his tuner.
problem is,
But we just got that one capo up there. So.
You need a banjo capo?
any cable is fine. It's
Oh, I
just-
got a banjo capo.
All right.
Because I use them for different tunings.
Oh, okay.
Guitar, so I got a banjo capo.
I mean, he's got his spikes and everything. Maybe he just needs one to go past that fence.
Spikes, it's fine. No,
Would that fit? Would that one ever fit across?
Oh, that'll absolutely do it. Yeah.
all right. You sure?
Damn.
Which one
I
do you
don't
want?
think it's okay. You know,
Yes,
Marcus
I will.
one's not gonna fit
Yes, it will. Look at that.
just on the 4.
Dude, the fifth,
Oh, okay.
the fifth doesn't need cable. It just spikes and tunes.
Okay, so you just spike it and tune it up. Perhaps that.
That's what everybody. That's what Mike Wilson does.
Yeah, that's true. Because you rarely,
much.
Yeah.
because you rarely keep it that damn high.
Is there a particularly sad story involving your guild?
No, I just needed the money and I sold it, and I wish I hadn't because, well, I wanted to upgrade, you know,
I didn't change
but
it.
it just had a distinct sound to it, you know,
Yeah.
that I really
Just
liked.
maintenance.
I have the same regret for a Mexican telly that I had one time, and bad error.
I can't go one more day without changing the strings. Those things take time.
My strings are so shot on my mandolin right now, but I still play it, you know. Like,
It's just,
I don't have an hour to change my strings on my mandolin.
And No, it's
Take,
just, yeah, I'm intonating now because you know how they get the old strings get that dent on the bottom. Of the
Yeah.
string where you're like,
You got the guitar string blues, son.
yeah.
You know, Ralph Stanley actually did that song off of the CD.
yeah. You know, I remember. We get through a second cable. Second cable just for that.
We can also do some. We can do California, which is funk,
Yeah, I think it's
bluegrass type of funk type of thing, you know.
Bluegrass funk?
Yeah.
Let's get funky.
Yeah, we can do that. You want to start off with that one?
funky.
We can start off with that one if you like.
Let's do it.
Key is C minor, you know. That's how I.
C.
Then I'll go to D minor to the F. I think that's pretty much the whole song, you know. And then it goes. Then it goes. I think we go to California. Moments. Huh? Yeah, I mean, I'll do like the funk. It goes from funk to straight up country. Funk, straight up country. And then we do this funk jam, okay? Poultry.
Poultry.
Go straight up country.
Poultry.
Straight up country, man.
Poultry.
Got a pencil? I'll write it down.
I do have a question for you, though. You used a word before that I'm unfamiliar with.
What's that?
Mandolini.
Mandolini.
Mandolini?
That's what I'm going to run with.
Is there a mandolini?
Mandolini. That's it. Yeah.
Have you ever met anybody named Mandy Lynn? Mandy Lynn?
No, but I'll be looking
Hi,
for
my
one
name's
now.
Mandy Lynn.
Clarinet.
You're going to come get my case like my cats.
Banjo.
Should I bring this out here like this, or should I keep it where it was?
Huh?
Should I bring this out here like this, or keep it where it was? Are you going to listen to a mix in the
Yeah,
headphones,
let me-
probably? Give you a little bit.
Go ahead and.
Well, I think I'm gonna go to California, where all the pretty people live, amongst the rubble and the tremors. To the left of Jupiter. Well, I think that I shall go to California. Moments time.
You're good.
Like
Okay,
that?
let me hear you, buddy. You're good. You're good. Everybody's good.
We can get a couple of different grooves, like I can. You know, and kind of play with that a little bit. You know, there's a couple of different rhythms we can take with this. You know, to keep it interesting in that jam section, you know, do a couple of different little rhythms there and change it up and see how it morphs. Because in that jam section, just to see where it goes and how it feels. You know, I love that about this song is that you can get anybody up there and just kind of see where it goes. Come really close to train wreck
Let it roam.
and pull it back.
Any other mystery changes in it? C minor.
It goes. They go to California. Now on the verse, the two verses, like the first verse it'll go from the C moments back to the C minor. Okay. It goes verse. The first verse will come back from the when it goes. I think that I shall go to California. Moments time. The second time and the fourth time through it'll go. Think that I should go to California. Moments time. back to the moment's time. Oh, I think I'm going to California. Oh, I think I'm going to California. Oh, I think I'm going to California. Yes, I think that I shall go to California. Moment's time. Then back to that C minor. Yeah, and then there's one time when we're doing that towards the end, it'll go, I think I should go to California. Moment's time. I think I'm going to California. Do I have to sit to do this one? Is he stand up?
You can do it either way.
It's all right, I'll try to do it sitting.
Okay.
Then I'm playing to see.
Well, no, we're just saying down there it gets a little bottom. Yeah, I just wanted to hear it to see if it matched up with totally we're up again. Okay.
No problem. You're good.
Yeah, me too. I'm playing.
I like that. Started it that way. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah. Are we recording now? Are we recording? For a little verse, guys.
Go for it.
Oh, really? Okay, you now, huh? All right, here we go. Let me let you give a little intro there. Well, I think I'm gonna go to California, where all the pretty people live, amongst the rubble and the tremors, to the left of Jupiter and to the right of the king, afraid to dive into the trust and into something that might expose her frailties. So I think that I shall go to California, moment's time. Well, I think I'm gonna go to California to dance upon Rodeo Drive, which is much more of a loose statement than spitting on the grave of Elvis. Maybe there's not much between them, but I think more of someone dead than I do of some of the living plastic zombies. So I think that I shall go to California, moment's time, moment's time. Oh, I think I'm going to California. Oh, I think I'm going to California. Oh, I think I'm going to California. Yes, I think that I shall go to California, moment's time. Well, I think I'm gonna go to California and build ideas upon the rocks that rose up singing. In the Bible, their voices stifled an exaltation by some polyester pundit who delights in self-righteous babble, new age fundamentalist psycho-terrorist. So I think that I shall go to California, moment's time. Yeah! Well, I think I'm gonna go to California to take a stroll down Venice Beach to watch the narcissistic voguing, the cretins and the freaks. Maybe then I'll laugh. maybe then I won't. As I dive into my Ben and Jerry's Cherry Garcia. Yes, I think that I shall go to California. Moment's time. Moment's time. Oh, I think I'm going to California. Oh, I think I'm going to California. Oh, I think I'm going to California. Yes, I think that I shall go to California. Moment's time. Woo! I think I'm going to California. I think I'm going to California. I think I'm going to California. Yes, I think that I shall go to California. Moment's time. Oh, oh, yeah. Bring it back around. You ready? I'm gonna hit that D minor in a minute, okay? Here we go. I think I'm going to California. I think I'm going to California. I think I'm going to Carolina. How about that one? I think I'm going to Carolina. I think I'm going to Carolina. I think I'm going to Carolina.
All right.
That was fun.
That was fun. Okay.
Between all the tuning.
Yeah.
Well, you can use if it doesn't work, don't use it. You know.
Go ahead.
I've got
Let's
another
jump
one.
into
Let me
another
see.
one.
I got one called Jagged Edge. Let me see if I can remember this one. I cut my heart on a cold, steel, jagged edge. I pushed my dreams till they crumbled over the ledge. You know, there's one more I would like to do a cappella, and this is for my good friend Angela Bird, who passed away last week, who was the membership director for Delmarva Public Radio.
Yes, ma'am, she was.
So, I'm going to try to do this, okay? If you don't mind. Let me take a little drink here.
Yeah, Angela's had a very long and hard road. And she is in a better place.
But can I tell you something? I learned so much. I was blessed to be there with people surrounding her and learn how to help someone make that crossing over in a way that, you know, not in a hospital, but in her home, surrounded by people who loved her, who cared, who we helped. All of us tried to, tried to make her comfortable, took care of her. There was also, of her friends, a wonderful nurse and a doctor also.
Yeah.
We played music for her. We ate good food. We shared jokes and fun and stories. And it was an amazing experience because Angela always loved to take pictures of sunsets on Deal Island. Just beautiful pictures, okay? And we were wondering on Sunday why she was still, it was just amazing that she was still even hanging on. And our partner was there with her, Carol, and she went and got each cat, brought each cat in. There's a lot of cats.
Can't have too many cats.
No. And each dog was up there too. And friends and people come by all week to see her and basically say goodbye. Her mom, her family came down from Harrisburg too. And then we looked out and I said, maybe we should do a fire or a fire in the fire pit. And Carol said, no, let's do it. I got a bunch of stuff out there we need to burn on the beach there. And that's called, it was basically Angela's beach, Angela and Carol's beach. But, and somebody had given her a thing that was one of those ship circle things they throw at the life preservers.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they, wonderful artist, but it spelled her name wrong. And it said Anglaise.
Anglaise.
And he's like, oh, let me take it back and redo it. And she's like, no, I love it just the way it is.
Yeah.
So we built the bonfire on her beach. And as that, and the sun was setting down in Deal Island on the water. It's right on the water. And as that fire was winding down, and Carol was inside at her side, and she said, as that was winding down, Carol came outside and goes, you guys need to come in now. And we did. But basically, Carol had watched her take her last breath. And Carol said I was sitting there and I heard whispering. And I looked at Angela's. I was watching Angela, and her eyes, she tried to open her eyes, and it's like she took a breath, and she was gone. And she goes, I really feel it was her father that came to get her. Just a beautiful, incredible, moment. And so she left at 4:46 p.m., just in time to paint the sunset for us that night. And it was a beautiful sunset.
Neil Donald Walsh calls it Return Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
He was the guy that wrote
Conversations with God.
Have
I
you
read
ever
every single one of them.
Isn't he incredible?
Yeah.
Like, what a
Challenging
you would love
book
these-
series too, because that second book, it
Yeah.
was tough to swallow some of the stuff that he was saying, but when you really think about
And
it,
you think about it after you're done book 3, and you're like, and then all the other stuff too. It's gosh, yes, you read them all. Yeah, he's fantastic. It's just what
yeah, but I really feel like a lot of that is validation for things that you already know deep down.
I think we do. That's
Yeah.
like, like he says, we're it's not a knowing. It's a remembering. We have to try to remember
Right.
because we already know it. We've already been here.
Mm-hmm.
We've always been here. So what a beautiful story.
Well, I want to do this last song for her. It's a cappella. I'm going to try to do it sitting down.
Is this one of yours also?
Mhm.
Okay.
And this was actually written. There was a guy. It was a professor at Salisbury University who passed away a couple of years ago, and a friend of mine had taken care of him. And it was written around the time. It was written when he was in the hospital, and actually he was dying. And his friend, she called me and told me. And when I looked up, and after I got off that phone call, I looked up in the sky, and there were these clouds, and they looked like big angel wings.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how the song was born. It's called Angel Wings. So, angel wings, come and take my hand, take me to the promised land, where pain can't hold a candle to the brilliance I'll see. Lift me gently from this earth to a place I've long since birth, where innocence did kiss me first, and joy will be my crown. Angel wings, come and take my hand, take me to the promised land, where pain can't hold a candle to the brilliance I'll see. We once dreamed of growing old, now my body's growing cold, bittersweet when love lets go. But I will see them someday. Oh, angel wings, come and take my hand, take me to the promised land, where pain can't hold a candle. No, pain can't hold a candle. Pain can't hold a candle to the brilliance I'll see. So, thank you guys for having me.
This has been absolutely terrific, and thank you for coming, Suzanne.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I feel blessed to be in you guys' presence.
Let's pick. That's right.
Okay.
This has been a very special edition of Delmarva Americana. Mr. Mickey, any words of wisdom, brother?
Wow.
That's a hard one to follow.
Yeah, let's pick. That's right. That's,
Why is everybody looking at me now?
You're next,
the
and then
wise
Miss
one,
Linda.
man. You're the wise one.
I really like that guitar. What kind of guitar you got there?
That's this one?
Yeah.
That's a Taylor 815C with the mustache bridge. They don't
All
make
right.
that one anymore, so
Very
like that.
nice.
Miss Linda, you want to take us out?
Well, I just want to say what a pleasure it has been to sit here and just take all this beautiful sound and just capture it in my soul.
Well, I'm just looking for a four-leaf clover. I'm just looking for a piece of dirt. I'm just looking for that sweet salvation.